In all the ruckus that followed MFN 9, the good things of the event actually got overshadowed. So I had to make this post talking about how amazing the fights of MFN 9 were. Like, this was one of the best fight cards India has ever seen. Right from the first to the last match, it was absolutely beautiful to watch as an event. Even people who are watching it for the first time were absolutely blown away. All right, so I'll go fight wise. Very quick review of the fights. So the very first fight, Arsenba versus Bishwanath, absolutely amazing. This was declared one of the fights of the night, and rightfully so. Arsenba came in with leg kicks after leg kicks throughout the 3 rounds, relentless with the leg kicks, and that actually won him the fight. It pretty much seemed one sided with a barrage of leg kicks. The leg kicks is something that's pretty new to MMA relatively. All right, people have always been going out for knockouts and submissions and stuff, and there are some people that just use their legs to keep their distance and keep chopping that tree down. And Arsen Bar did exactly that, and beautifully so. Bishwanath's legs were literally maroon towards the end of the fight. He was unable to absolutely stand on his legs, and Arsenba took away the win. And what a beautifully technical win that was! Absolute pleasure to watch. Definitely perfectly well given a fight of the night. The next fight was the Gambar versus Prakaram. Now, both of them are known to be heavy hitters and didn't really know what to expect out of this fight, but this fight turned into a bloodbath. And Prakaram was at the receiving end of it, unfortunately. And slightly, I think the calling was delayed. The ref should have called it a little bit earlier. You could see Daniel Isaac shouting to like stop the match to the ref, and then the ref intervened and stopped the match. Had the match been stopped just when Daniel Isaac called to stop it, it would have saved Prakram for a lot of damage. Like, Prakram seemed to have given up at that point and was asking the ref to stop it. But then Digambar came in with a elbow, like spinning elbow to the face, and blood just streamed down Prakram's face. It was a ghastly sight, but what a fight. Never expected Digambar to put up a fight as beautiful as that. And unfortunately for Prakram, he was the receiving end of it. Hopefully he bounces back well and strong from this, and I actually think he will. He's the kind of guy who puts in hard work and works on his stuff, so he will come back stronger from this. All the best for that, Prakaram. The next fight that came up was Kapil versus Imkong Sunep Jamir. Okay, another boy from TCA Nagaland. The guys from Nagaland actually won everybody's hearts and minds in this fight night, and they were spectacular. Must say here though that Kapil took up this fight on a very short notice, so not really fair to him on that end. But he did show heart standing in there and putting up a fight with Imkong, who absolutely dominated and won outright. Right, another win for TCA Nagaland this night. So they came in. TCA Nagaland came in with 3 fighters, and all 3 fighters won. And the very next one was Abhishek Negi versus TCA's very own Avizo Lanmai. And Avizo is known to be a seasoned fighter. He has absolutely brilliant ground skills and brilliant striking skills to boot, and that won him the match. He was the favorite in this pair up to win, and I had been rooting for him to win this right from the beginning, and he did as expected and won. Uh, Not a spectacular match to watch because I don't know, it wasn't entertaining as such. Everything went as expected, and Avizo took away the win. Next time, I hope to see Avizo actually get a fighter who puts up a real fight against him, and it would be great to see what he can bring to the table from that. The next fight was Tenzin Pema versus Puja Tomar. Alright, so Puja is pretty conditioned and seasoned. She's been in the fight sport for a while, and this was absolutely new for Tenzin at that end. Um, so I think the experience and conditioning of Puja sort of paid off. Both of them primarily were looking to strike, but Puja just went in like a cyclone. Bang, 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 bang. And before you know it, Tenzin was already turning away and Puja leaped on her, pounded her yet more, and finished the fight very, very early. A very quick and easy win for Puja. It was absolutely entertaining to watch that strike fest that she put up, like a cyclone in there. But Pema, I hope she grows and matures as a fighter and comes in much better and stronger soon. And I hope Puja gets a really equated fight the next time to really display all the skills that she has aside from just her great striking power, because she is getting decently well rounded as a fighter right now. Initially she was just a striker, but now she is getting a little bit good on the ground as well, having been training with her for a while now, and you can see the difference, and I hope she gets to display that in her next fight, whenever that is. So Puja won this, and it was a quick win and a great fight to watch. Very quick, but very great to watch. The next fight was Angad Bist, one of my favorites from MFN of all time, versus Himanshu. Now, when I say Bist is one of my favorites, that's because I have seen him evolve as a fighter over time. He's come in from a very muscular bodybuilding sort of background, got into martial arts, gotten good at it, evolved at it, developed his game, and now he has the fight IQ to actually survive, sustain, and win at three different weight categories, which says a lot about him as a fighter. I see a lot of good things ahead for Angad Bist, and this night's performance was also spectacular for him. Came in striking, took the back, rolled over the back, set in a RNC, and finished the fight right there. And that was a beautiful submission win for him. His ground game, especially, is spectacular and it's evolving constantly. And he is a great fighter to watch out for even in the future. Every time Angad Bist is fighting, be sure to, keep your eyes peeled. He will bring out a great fight to watch. The next fight was Sumit Khade versus Shrikanth Shekhar. Now, both of them are friends on and off the mat, but when it gets in the cage, it's war. And Shrikanth bought the war to Sumit. Shrikanth had missed weight by a bit, but he was allowed, he took the hit, and Sumit allowed it too. But when it came to the fight, Shrikanth absolutely dominated the fight and won by a beautiful Das choke, right? If you see the records of MFN, Shrikanth actually has the highest number of submission wins, and the Dars actually has been a submission he has been working relentlessly with coaches Ashwin Hoon and Mohit Chawla at Warriors Cove MMA and Combat Lab. And it was a pleasure to see him pull it off finally after about a month of him constantly getting caught in that submission. He got to pull it off on someone else in the middle of an actual fight, and that was beautiful to watch. He himself was laughing about it. Too bad he couldn't celebrate with us towards the end of the night because of the ruckus that happened. But as a fight, Shrikanth once again bought the A game, put Sumit down. Sumit's heavy hands did not make a difference to Shrikanth, and he locked him in with a Das choke and finished the fight with a perfect submission. The next fight was a very, very, very quick one, which was JoJo versus Mary Jane Buna from the Philippines. Now, JoJo is still evolving as a fighter, and I haven't seen her fight much, but this time, I don't know if she got really lucky or if she just came in very, very hard on Mary Jane Buna. And Mary Jane Buna seemed weak right from the outset. Her body language was not very confident. I think she needs to really develop her skills and come in a little more confident next time. But it was a one punch flash knockout. JoJo just rushed in through an overhand straight shot to the face that just knocked Mary J. Buna down, literally as if she had rigor mortis set in. Both hands up in the air, stuck, eyes wide open. The audience was aghast at what the hell just happened and what a fight it was. Like the quickest knockout of the night. And holy shit, is this going on JoJo's showreel or what? I definitely bet it is. I think it's going on the MFN showreel for sure. It looked so gruesome and yet so spectacular. Definitely a spectacle that night. Fight number 9 was actually, to me, my favorite fight of the night. All right, this fight was with a super seasoned fighter, Sanjit Budwar, all right, versus a Serbian kid of 20 years old called Dorde. I can't pronounce his name well, it's Jonovic or something. But Dorji uh, lost the fight, but he won everybody's heart. Actually, some people were also thinking that he actually won the fight, but we leave that decision to the referees. Whatever it is, it does not matter because this kid won hearts in that fight. This kid was so technically brilliant. He absolutely dominated the first round, right? You generally don't expect a grappler to put on good striking, but he held his own when it came to striking. He kept his place, he kept his distance, he landed some decent strikes, and once it went to the ground, he just controlled the hell out of Sanjeet. Like you could see Sanjeet gasping for air, trying to get out of Dorje's clutches, and it's amazing how a 20-year-old kid shows so much technical skill and fight IQ so early. Like this guy's testosterone has also not kicked in yet. Like, and when it does, and when he gets a little more muscle maturity and a little more fight IQ, it would be very, very interesting to see what kind of fighter does Dorje turn out into. I will definitely be looking forward to all his fights in the future. Sanjeet won the fight. Like the second round, I think went either or, both sides, and the third round Sanjeet took away, and that's what won him the decision for this fight. Sanjeet, do not forget this, has very, very, very heavy hands. When he lands strikes, they cause damage, and a 20-year-old took that, withstood that, survived that, and absolutely won everybody's hearts that night. This was absolutely a phenomenal match. When it comes out on YouTube, I suggest you watch out for it, watch the match. I am sure you will be as mind blown as I was, and everybody else that night was, from this fight. And the very last fight, which was actually not supposed to be the main card fight, but came even above the main card because it was a super fight, a revenge fight between Zahur Shah and Seth Rosario. A revenge fight, or a so called revenge fight, where Seth was taking revenge for the loss that Shrikanth had suffered against Zahur Shah last time with a flash knockout. That included a slippage. But Seth truly put on a spectacle in this fight. He was clinical, he was technical, and he displayed every skill MMA has to show within a 5-minute round. Striking, grappling, and ground and pound, Seth put on a perfect display of all three elements of MMA in that fight beautifully, clinically, and you cannot get more perfect than that. That fight was an absolute one-sided though technical treat to watch. Seth displayed phenomenal striking skills and awareness of distance. He pulled off great grappling with takedowns and on the ground. He moved into heel hooks and leg locks and toe holds, got a knee bar in, set up a kimura, attempted an arm bar. I can't think of something that he actually left out to display from as much as he can display within a 5-minute round. And after all that, he took Zahur's back and gave Zahur a clobberage of strikes that Zahur could absolutely not answer back to. Like the ref even mentioned that he gave him a little extra time, like about 10 seconds, to see if he can like come up and say anything or like strike anything, do anything against the one-sided domination that Seth was putting up on him, and Zahur couldn't, and Seth absolutely took that fight away, and it was so beautiful to watch. So these were the best things about MFN 9, the best fights, the way they went, and the spectacle that they put up. I hope, and I'm absolutely looking forward to MFN 10 and the kind of fight card they put up and what do we get to watch in there. Super excited for MFN 10 whenever that is, whatever that is. I'm definitely tuned in, and watch out all the fights of MFN 9 on YouTube and let me know if you agree with my sentiments about the fight and how you feel about it. This is Pushkaraj Shirke for Project Battlefield. Cheers and take care.